This month, December 1981, Andrae Evans raised his right hand, swore an oath that committed him to protect his country. 20 years later, he was back in Rochester starting a family. The military still part of his life, but not his whole life. So why did he then go back? Tours of duty in both Iraq and Afghanistan. I sat down with Lieutenant Colonel Andrae Evans at I-Square to talk about that and more. I normally start with the past, but I want to start with the current here. We saw the news recently, the Afghanistan papers, in which the portrayal of what's happening in Afghanistan, perhaps a bit more rosy coming from the U.S. government than what was actually on the ground. You've been on the ground several times. What's your take?
I don't think that the Afghan papers were correct. From my understanding, we've been saying this the whole time. What politicians hear is different than what the soldiers say. So I don't think there was any deceit there. I think there was more selective hearing so that they could sell it or not sell it to the American people who pretty much don't understand what the war is about, how to fight an insurgency, the complexity of fighting an insurgency or a counterinsurgency battle, and what goes into rebuilding a nation. We can do it, and we're almost there. If we leave now, it'll be another disaster.
You have a lot of experience in Afghanistan, partly because of 9/11. You were successful in the financial world here. You had already served. What happened?
9/11 happened, and I felt that if I was a true officer, if I was a true warrior, that I couldn't leave my fellow soldiers with my knowledge and experience. I couldn't leave the young privates, the young sergeants, on their own to execute a war against our nation.
What do you think now about that decision?
I would do it over again.
We see all the divisiveness here at home. Did you experience that abroad in the military as well?
No. It doesn't matter what party you're from, because what you serve to protect is the Constitution, not a party, and especially not a person.
You're a lieutenant colonel. What message of leadership do you like to pass on when you're talking to someone that needs that message?
Leadership is about service to the other, not praise of me. So I'm intelligent, I have all these other gifts, etc., and that gift is, I believe, is given by God so that I can serve others. So once service becomes about yourself, then you're no longer a leader, you're a demagogue.
All right, Evans did not do this all alone. He and his wife, Kristen, have been married now for more than 25 years, and their two children grew up with their dad away for long stretches, both of them now carrying on his lessons. Very impressive kids, by the way. To see more interviews like this, go to rochesterfirst.com, and when you get there, head to the Adam Interviews section.